Act 1. A room in Valentine's lodging.
Jeremy,
Sir?
here, take this volume away. I'll walk a turn and digest what I read.
You'll grow devilish fat on this paper diet.
Jeremy begins to clear the books.
And here go you to breakfast. There's a page doubled down in Epictetus that is a feast for an emperor.
Was Epictetus a real cook, or did he only write receipts?
Read, Sirrah, and refine your appetite. Learn to live upon instruction. Feast your mind and mortify your flesh. Shut up your mouth and chew the cud of understanding. So Epictetus advises.
And what was that Epictetus?
A very rich man, not worth a groat.
And so he has made a very fine feast where there is nothing to be eaten.
Yes.
Sir, you are a gentleman, and probably understand this fine feeding, but inform me, does your Epictetus or your Seneca here, or any of these poor rich rogues, teach you how to pay your debts without money? Will they shut up the mouths of your creditors? Will Plato be bail for you? Slife, sir, what do you mean to mew yourself up here with 3 or 4 musty books in commendation of starving and poverty?
Why, Sirrah, I have no money. You know it, and therefore resolve to rail at all that I have, or to rail at all that have. And in that I but follow the examples of the wisest and wittiest men in all ages, these poets and philosophers whom you naturally hate, for just such another reason, because they abound in sense, and you are a fool.
Sir, I am a fool, I know it, and yet, heaven help me, I'm poor enough to be a wit. But I was always a fool when I told you what your expenses would bring you to. Your coaches and your liveries, your treats and your balls, your love for a lady that did not care a farthing for you but in your prosperity, and keeping company with wits that cared for nothing but your prosperity, and now, when you are poor, hate you as much as they do one another.
And now that I am poor, I have an opportunity to be revenged on them all. I'll pursue Angelica with more love than ever, and appear more notoriously her admirer than when I openly rivaled the rich fops that made court to her. So shall my poverty be a mortification to her pride, and perhaps make her reciprocate the love which has reduced me to this lowness of fortune. And for the wits, I'm sure I am in a condition to be even with them.
Oh, nay, your condition is pretty even with theirs. That's the truth on it.
I'll take some of their trade out of their hands.
Nay, but, sir, you don't mean to write.
Yes, I do. I'll write a play.
Nay, sir, if you please, your first exercise shall be writing me a small certificate of 3 lines, only to certify, to whom it may concern, that the bearer hereof, Jeremy Fetch by name, has, for the pace of 7 years, truly and faithfully served Valentine Legend, Esquire, and that he is not now turned away for any misdemeanor, but does voluntarily dismiss his master from any future authority over him.
No, Sarah, you shall live with me still.
Sir, it's impossible. I may die with you, starve with you, or be damned with you, but to live even 3 days in the company of a preening playwright? I'll hang myself before I endure it.
You are witty, sir.
And you are a man of judgment, sir. Therefore leave off the theater.
Enter Scandal.
What, Jeremy holding forth?
The rogue has, with all the wit he could muster up, been declaiming against wit.
Aye. Why, then I'm afraid Jeremy has wit, for whatever it is, it's always contriving its own ruin.
Why, sir, so I have been telling my master, sir. Mr. Scandal, for heaven's sake, try if you can dissuade him from turning poet.
Poet? Why? What the devil, Valentine? Has not your poverty made you enemy? Has not your poverty made you enemies enough? Must you needs show your wit to get more?
Aye, more indeed, for who cares for anybody that has more wit than himself?
Jeremy speaks like an oracle.
You are as inveterate against our playwright's scandal as if your character had been lately exposed upon the stage. Nay, I am not violently bent upon the trade.
The sound of knocking.
Jeremy, see who's there.
Exit Jeremy.
But tell me, Scandal, what would you have me do? What does the world say of me in my forced confinement?
The world behaves itself as it is wont to do on such occasions. Some pity you and condemn your father. Others excuse him and blame you. Only the ladies are merciful and wish you well, since love and pleasure expense has been your greatest faults.
Re-enter Jeremy.
How now?
Nothing new, sir. I've dispatched some half a dozen creditors with as much dexterity as a hungry judge does cases at dinner time.
What answer have you given him?
Patience, I suppose. The old receipt.
No, Mr. Scandal, I've put him off so long with patience and forbearance and other fair words that I was forced now to tell him in plain downright English.
What?
That they should be paid.
What? When?
Tomorrow.
And how the devil do you mean to keep your word?
Keep it? Not at all. Upon my life, Mr. Valentine, the truth in this house has been so very much stretched that 'twill naturally break by tomorrow, and nobody be surprised at the matter.
The knocking continues.
Again.
See who they are.
Exit Jeremy.
By this scandal, you may see what it is to be great. Secretaries of state, presidents of the council, and generals of an army lead just such a life as I do, and have just such crowds of visitors in a morning, all soliciting of past promises.
And you, like a great man, having promised them more than ever you intended to perform, are more concerned with finding evasions than you would be to invent some honest means of keeping your words and gratifying your creditors.
Re-enter Jeremy.
Sir.
Well, now, Jeremy, who is it? Who's at the door, man? Speak.
It's your father's steward, sir.
Oh, pox on him.
A pox on whom? Your father or his steward?
Both, believe me. Well, show him in.
Jeremy opens the door. Enter a steward.
Your pardon, Mr. Valentine. I bear an urgent message from your father.
An urgent message from my father? Then it must be trivial.
Shall I tell it in your ear, sir? It is not for all companies, sir.
Well, I won't prevent you from whispering, sir, but I warn you, sir, that if your lips come too near my liking, sir, I shall cut off the tongue between them, sir. Come, sir, your intelligence.
The steward whispers in Valentine's ear. Scandal pours himself a glass of wine.
You need say no more, steward. I understand the conditions. They are very hard, but I agree to them. Tell my father so.
I shall, sir. Your servant, sir.
Exit the steward and Jeremy.
You changed color, Valentine. Is it relief or despair? Does your father relent?
No. He sends me the hardest conditions in the world. You have heard of a booby brother of mine that was sent to sea 3 years ago? His brother, my father hears, is landed in port, whereupon he very affectionately sends me word if I will make a deed of conveyance of my right to his estate after his death to my younger brother, he will immediately furnish me with 4,000 pounds to pay my debts. This was once proposed before and I refused it, but the present impatience of my creditors and absence from Angelica forced me to consent.
A very desperate demonstration of your love to Angelica. And I think she has never given you any assurance of hers.
You know her temper. She never gave me any reason either for hope or despair.
But you cannot believe that a woman of this age who has been indifferent to you and your posterity will fall in love with you with your ill fortune. Not when you squandered your money in the pursuit of pleasure with other women. Besides, Angelica is too eligible for you. with a great fortune of her own, worth 30,000 pounds.
I know all this, and so does she.
Well, then, why would she hitch her dowry to a profligate libertine?
Re-enter Jeremy.
More misfortunes, sir.
What, another debt collector?
No, sir, but Mr. Tattle has come to wait upon you.
Well, I can't help it. You must bring him up. He knows I don't go abroad.
Exit Jeremy.
Plague on him, I'll be gone.
No, prithee, stay. Tattle and you should never be asunder. You are light and shadow, perfectly in reverse. As you set up for defamation, he is a mender of reputations.
A mender of reputations. Aye, just as he is a keeper of secrets, another virtue he boasts of, yet has not. For the rogue will speak aloud in the posture of a whisper, and deny a woman's name while he gives you the marks of her person. He will forswear receiving a letter from her, and at the same time show you her hand in the superscription. In short, Tattle is public professor of secrecy and makes proclamation that he holds private intelligence.
Shh, he's here.
Valentine, good morrow. Scandal, I am yours. That is, when you speak well of me.
That is, when I am yours, for while I am my own, or anybody else's, that will never happen.
How inhuman.
Why, Tattle, you need not be much concerned at anything he says, for you know to be hated by scandal is worth 10,000 compliments elsewhere.
Oh, but how barbarous a paradigm that the world should think the better of any person for a man's condemnation.
You never studied politics, did you, Tattle?
I thank heaven I did not. As I am a person, it has always been part of my character to handle the reputations of others very tenderly indeed.
Aye, such rotten reputations as you deal with are to be handled very tenderly indeed.
Nay, but why rotten, cruel man? Why should you say rotten when you know not the person of whom you speak?
Not know him. While thou never hast to do with anybody that did not stink to all the town.
Nay, now you make a jest of it indeed, for hang me if I am not the very antidote to infamy. As I hope to be saved, Valentine, I never exposed a woman since I knew what woman was.
And yet you have conversed with several.
To be free with you, I have. I don't care if I own that. Nay, more, and I'm going to say a bold word now. I never could meddle with a woman that had to do with anybody else.
Except her husband, Tattle.
Oh, that.
Hang him. Let him alone. He has a mind we should inquire further.
Valentine, I supped last night with your mistress and her uncle, old Forsyth. I think your father lodges at Forsyth's?
Yes.
Well, upon my soul, Angelica's a fine woman, and so is Mrs. Forsyth, and her sister, Mrs. Frail.
Yes, Mrs. Frill is a very fine woman. We all know that.
Oh,
We
that
all
is
know
not
her.
fair. Oh, that is not fair.
What?
To tell.
To tell what? What? Ooh, what do you know of Mrs. Frail?
Who, I? Nothing.
No.
No.
She says otherwise.
Impossible.
Yes, Faith. Ask Valentine.
Why then, as I hope to be saved, I believe a woman only obliges a man to secrecy that she may have the pleasure of telling herself.
No doubt it. Well, but has she done you wrong or no? You have had her. Yeah.
Though I have more honor than to tell first, I have more manners than to contradict what a lady has declared.
Then you own it?
Well, I can't deny it if she taxes me with it.
She'll be here by and by. She sees Valentine every morning.
What?
She does me the favor, if you can call it that, of a visit sometimes. But I did not know she had granted more to anybody else.
I'm resolved we should ask her about her affair with Tattle.
Oh, barbarous. Why did you not tell me?
No, you told us.
But, gentlemen,
Hey, Mr. Tattle, if you have known scandal thus long and cannot avoid such a palpable decoy as this was, The ladies must have a fine time whose reputations are in your keeping.
Re-enter Jeremy.
Sir, Mrs. Frail has sent to know if you are stirring.
Has she indeed? Bid her come up.
Exit Jeremy.
Pox on it. Gentlemen, I'll be gone.
No, you'll meet her.
Is there not a back way?
Faith, no, Tattle. Your running away will be the very proof of your dalliance. Stand bravely to it, man.
Enter Mrs. Frail.
Oh, unfortunate. Here she is.
Well, I shall get a fine reputation by coming to see fellows in the morning. Scandal, you devil, are you here too? Oh, Mr. Tattle, everything is safe with you, we know.
How lovingly she speaks, Tattle.
Hush, fool. Oh, madam, you do me too much honor.
Well, Lady Galloper, how does Angelica?
Angelica? Manners?
Surely you will allow an absent lover.
No! I'll allow a lover present with his mistress to be particular, but otherwise, I think his passion ought to give place to his manners.
But what if he has more passion than manners?
Then let him marry and reform.
Marriage indeed may qualify the fury of his passion, but it is very rarely mends a man's manners.
You are mistaken. In very little time, every husband grows rude to his wife, which begets his civility to other people. Well, but I'll tell you news. Your brother Benjamin is landed at the docks, and my brother Forsyte's daughter is come out of the country. I assure you, there's a match talked of by the old people. Well, if the young man be but as great a sea beast as she is a land monster, we shall have a most amphibious breed. The progeny will all be otters.
Pox take 'em. Their conjunction bodes me no good, I'm sure.
Now you talk of conjunction. My brother Forsyte has prophesied a successful marriage in some star chart or other. 'Tis the most superstitious old fool. He would have persuaded me that this was an unlucky day and not let me come abroad. But I invented a premonition of good fortune at this house and so stole out to see you. Well, Valentine, and what will you give me now? Come, I must have something.
Step into the next room and I'll give you something.
I'll give you something.
Why, what will you all give me?
Mine's a secret.
No secret I haven't heard before.
And Scandal shall give you a good name.
That's more than he has for himself. And what will you give me, Mr. Tattle?
My soul, madam.
Ugh. No, I thank you. I have enough to do to take care of my own.
Re-enter Jeremy.
Sir, here's the steward again from your father.
Well, I'll come to him. Madam, will you give me leave to leave?
No, I'll be gone. Come, who squires me to the exchange? I must call on my sister Forsyte there.
I will. I have a mind to your sister.
Presumption!
Nay, I will, because I have a tender for your ladyship.
That's somewhat the better reason, in my opinion.
Tell Angelica I am endeavoring to come abroad and be at liberty to see her.
I will, sir.
Exit Jeremy.
Still moping after Forsyte's niece, Valentine? Shouldn't a gamester so proficient in losing as thou art have the wherewithal to know where his money is forfeit?
Truly, madam, if indiscretion be a sign of love, Valentine is the most of a lover anybody that I know. He fancies parting with his estate will help him to his mistress, but in my mind, he is a thoughtless adventurer who hopes to purchase wealth by selling land or win a mistress with a losing hand.
End of Act 1. Act 2. A room in Forsyte's house.
Heyday! What? Are all the women of all my family abroad? Has not my wife come home, nor my sister, nor my daughter?
No, sir.
Mercy on us. What can be the meaning of it? Sure, the moon is all in all her fortitudes. Is not my niece Angelica at home?
Yes, sir.
I believe you lie, sir. It is impossible that anything should be as I would have it, sir, for I was born, sir, when the crab was ascending, and all my affairs go backwards.
I can't tell indeed, sir.
No, I know you can't, sir, but I can tell and foretell, sir.
Enter the nurse.
Nurse, where's your young mistress?
Oh, wee little heart, I know not. There's none of 'em come home yet. Poor child, I warrant she's fond of seeing the town. Oh, lack the day. Oh, strange, Mary, and did you ever see the like?
Why, how now, what's the matter?
Oh, pray heaven, send your worship good luck, Mary and amen, with all my heart, for you have put on one stocking and with the wrong side outward.
Huh? How? Faith and troth, I'm glad of it, and so I have. That may be good luck in troth, for very good luck. Nay, I have had some omens. I got out of bed backwards this morning without premeditation. Pretty good. That, and then I stumbled coming downstairs and met a weasel. Bad omens, those. Some bad, some good. Our lives are checkered, but I am pleased at my stocking. Ah, here's my niece.
Enter Angelica.
Sarah, go tell Sir Samson Legend I'll wait on him if he's at leisure. 'Tis now 3 o'clock, and a very good hour for business. Mercury governs this hour.
Exit the servant.
Is it not a good hour for pleasure too, uncle? Pray, lend me your coach. Mine's out of order.
What would you be gadding to? Oh, sure, all females are mad today. It is of evil portent and bodes mischief to the master of a family. I remember an old Arabian prophecy about the horns that may sprout upon the head of a family, that's me, you know, niece, when his female relations freely wander from the homestead.
Well, but I can neither make you a cuckold, uncle, by going abroad, nor secure you from being one by staying at home.
Oh, yes, you can. While there's one woman left, the prophecy is not in full force.
But my inclinations are in force. I have a mind to go abroad, and if you won't lend me your coach, I'll take a hackney or a chair and leave you to erect a scheme and find out who's in conjunction with your wife. Why don't you keep her at home if you're jealous of her when she's abroad? You know my aunt is a little retrograde, as you call it, in her nature. Uncle, I fear you are not lord of the ascendant.
Well, Jill Flirt, you're very pert. You're always ridiculing that celestial science.
Nay, uncle, don't be angry. If you are, I'll reap up all your false prophecies, silly dreams, and idle divinations, and swear you are a nuisance to the neighborhood.
Why, you malapert slut.
Will you lend me your coach, or shall I go on?
Oh, merciful Father, how she talks.
I defy you, hussy, but I'll remember this. You have your fortune in your own hands, but I'll find a way to make your lover, your prodigal spendthrift gallant, Valentine, pay for it all. So I will.
Will you? I care not.
I will have patience, since it is the will of the stars I should be thus tormented. This is the effect of the malicious conjunctions in the third house of my nativity. But I will have my doors locked up. I'll punish you. Not a man shall enter my house.
Do, uncle. Lock him up quickly before my aunt comes home, or you'll have a letter of alimony tomorrow morning. But let me be gone first, and then you may converse with spirits and celestial signs, the bull and the ram and the goat. Bless me, there are a great many horned beasts among the 12 signs, uncle.
Yeah, but there's but one virgin among the 12 signs Spitfire, but one virgin.
Nor there had not been that one uncle, except she married an astrologer. That makes my aunt go abroad.
How, niece? Is that the reason? Does my wife complain? Well, I know women tell one another she is young and sanguine, has a wanton brown eye, and was born under Gemini, which may incline her to society. Do you laugh? Nay, come, be a good girl. Don't perplex your poor uncle. Tell me. Won't you speak?
Re-enter the servant.
Sir Samson is coming down to wait upon you.
Goodbye, uncle. Call me a chair. I'll find out my aunt and tell her she must not come home till she exchanged the date of her birth for something more Aquarius.
Fie, minx. Leave me, get you gone. And you, nurse.
Exeunt Angelica and the nurse one way, the servant another. Enter Sir Samson.
If I was born to be a cuckold, there's no more to be said. But here comes Sir Samson.
No more to be done, old boy Forsyth. That's plain. Here 'tis. I have it in my hand, old Ptolemy. I'll make that ungracious prodigal know who begat him. I warrant my son thought nothing belonged to a father but forgiveness and affection. No authority, no correction, no arbitrary power. Nothing to be done but for him to offend and me to pardon. I warrant you, if he danced till doomsday, he thought I was to pay the piper. Well, but here it is, in black and white, signatum, sigillatum, and deliberatum, that as soon as my son Benjamin is arrived, Valentine is to make over to him his right of inheritance. Where's my daughter that is to be, huh? Where's Miss Prue? Old Merlin. Body of me, I'm so glad I'm revenged on this undutiful rogue.
So, let me see the paper.
Sir Samson shows Forsyth the contract.
Odd so, the faith and troth, here it is. If it will but hold. I wish things were done and the conveyance made. When was this signed? What hour? Odd so, you should have consulted me for the time, but we'll make haste.
Haste, I haste enough. My son Ben will be in town tonight. I've ordered my lawyer to draw up writings this very evening, no matter for the time. Prithee, brother Forsyth, leave superstition. Pox on the time. There's no time but the time present. If the sun shine by day and the stars by night, why, we shall know one another's faces without the help of a candle. And that's all the stars are good for.
How, Sir Samson? That all? Give me leave to contradict you and tell you you're ignorant.
I tell you, I am wise, and sapiens dominabitur astris. There's Latin for you to prove it. Ignorant. I tell you, I've travelled and know the globe. I have seen the Antipodes where the sun rises at midnight and sets at noonday.
But I tell you, I have traveled in the celestial spheres, know the signs and the planets and their houses, can judge motions direct and retrograde, know whether life shall be long or short, happy or unhappy, whether diseases are curable, if journey shall be prosperous or stolen goods
And
recovered.
I have known an astrologer made a cuckold in the twinkling of a star, and seen a conjurer that could not keep the devil out of his wife's circle.
Do you mean my wife, Sir Samson? Though you've made cuckolds of half the husbands in London, yet by the body of the sun...
By the horns of the moon, you should say, brother Capricorn.
Capricorn in your teeth. Thou modern Mandeville, take back your paper of inheritance. Send your wretched son to sea again. I'll wed my daughter to an Egyptian mummy ere she shall incorporate with a condemner of sciences and a defamer of virtue.
Body of me, I've gone too far. I must not provoke the old ruin. Nay, an Egyptian mummy is an illustrious creature, my trusty hieroglyphic, and may have significations of futurity about him. What? Oh, thou art not angry for a jest, good Nostradamus. I reverence the sun, moon, and stars with all my heart. And so I do.
But what do you know of my wife?
Thy wife is a constellation of virtues. She's the moon, and thou art the man in the moon. But I was but in jest.
Enter Jeremy.
Who's this fellow? I don't like his physiognomy.
Neither did my mother, sir, though she had only herself to blame.
Why, how now, sirrah? What would you have?
'Tis your son, Sir Sampson.
What son, sir? My son Benjamin, sir?
No, sir, Mr. Valentine, my master. 'Tis the first time he has been abroad since his confinement, and he comes to pay his duty to you.
Well, son.
Enter Valentine.
Your blessing, sir.
You've had it already, sir. I think I sent it to you today in a bill of £4,000. A great deal of money, Brother Forsyth.
Indeed, Sir Sampson, a great deal of money for a young man. I wonder what he can do with it.
Body of me, so do I. Hark ye, Valentine. If there be too much, refund the superfluity. Just here, boy.
Superfluity, sir. It will scarce pay my debts. I hope you will have more indulgence than to oblige me to those hard conditions which my necessity signed to.
Sir, how, I beseech you, what were you pleased to infer of my indulgence?
Why, sir, that you would not go to the extremity of the conditions, but release me at least from some part.
That's all.
Yes, sir. All that I presume to ask. But what you, out of fatherly fondness, will be pleased to add shall be doubly welcome.
No doubt of it, sweet sir, but your filial piety and my fatherly fondness would fit like two tallies. Here's a rogue, Brother Forsyth, makes a bargain under seal in the morning and would be released from it in the afternoon. A wit, as they say. Why, sirrah, is your name not here under the seal? Can you deny it?
Sir, I don't deny it.
Have you not a rogue's face, Brother Forsyth? Of all my boys, the most unlike me. He has a damned Tyburn face without the benefit of the clergy.
Truly, I don't care to discourage a young man, but he has violence in his face, to be sure.
Sir, is this usage for your son? For that old weather-headed fool, I know how to laugh at him, but you, sir...
You, sir, nay, you, sir! Why, who are you, sir?
Your son, sir.
That's more than I know, sir, and believe not.
Well, faith, I hope not.
What, would you have your mother a whore?
I would have an excuse for your barbarity.
Excuse? Why, sirrah, may not I do what I please? Are you not my crumb? Did I not beget you? Whence came you, sir? Answer me that. Did you come a volunteer into the world? Or did I, with the lawful authority of a parent, not press you to the service?
I know no more why I came than you do, why you called me. But here I am, and if you don't mean to provide for me, I desire you would leave me as you found me.
Now, with all my heart. Come, uncase, strip. Out of the world as you came into it.
My clothes are soon put off. But you must also divest me of reason, thought, passions, affections, appetites, senses, and every dream I've ever harbored of an existence unfettered from the man-cruel nature commands I call father.
Body of me, what a many-headed monster I have propagated.
Your son, sir, your eldest son, for whom fortune was provident enough to supply all the necessities of nature, if I had my right of inheritance.
Again? Zoons, haven't you £4,000? Your brother will be in town tonight or tomorrow morning, and then look, you perform covenants, and so farewell. Come, brother Forsyth.
Exeunt Sir Sampson and Forsyth.
I told you what your visit would come to.
'Tis as much as I expected.
And less than you deserve.
Well, I did not come to see him. I came to see Angelica. But since she was gone abroad, it was easily turned another way. And no one can begrudge me the attempt to reason with him. At least I have tried. What's here? Mrs. Forsyth and Mrs. Frail? Christ, I'll avoid them. Come this way, Jeremy, and go and inquire when Angelica will return.
Exeunt Valentine and Jeremy severally. Enter Mrs. Frail and Mrs. Forsyth.
What have you to do to watch me? Slife, I'll do what I please.
You will?
Yes, Mary, will I? A great piece of business to go to Covent Square Garden in a hackney coach and take a turn with one's friend.
Nay, 2 or 3 turns, I'll take my oath.
Well, what if I took 20? I assure you, my dear sister, 'twas only innocent recreation. Lord, where's the comfort in this life if we can't have the happiness of conversing where we like?
But can't you converse at home? I own it. I think there's no happiness like conversing with an agreeable man. But the place is public, and to be seen with a man in a hackneyed coach is scandalous. What if anybody else should have seen you alight as I did? How can one be happy while she's in perpetual fear of being seen and censored? Besides, it would not only reflect upon you, sister, but me.
Why should it reflect upon you? I don't doubt but you have thought yourself happy in a hackney coach before now. If I had gone to Knightsbridge, or to Chelsea, or to Spring Garden with a man alone, something might have been said.
Nay, you've been at worse places.
I? At a worse place? And with a man?
I suppose you would not go alone to the world's end.
The world's end? What do you mean to banter me?
Poor innocent. You don't know that there's a place called the world's end? I swear you can keep your countenance purely. I swear you can keep your countenance purely. You'd make an admirable actress.
I swear you have a great deal of confidence, and in my mind, too much for the stage.
Then you never were at the world's end.
No.
You deny it positively to my face.
Your face? What's your face?
As good a face as yours.
Not by a dozen years wearing. But I do deny it. Positively, to your face, then.
Then tell me, sister, where did you lose this golden bodkin?
Mrs. Forsyth holds up a golden bodkin.
My bodkin?
Nay, 'tis yours. Look at it.
Well, if you go to that, then where did you find this bodkin? Oh, sister, every way.
Ah, devil on it, that I could not discover her without betraying myself. Well, sister, since all's out and we are both wounded, let us do what is often done in duels. Take care of one another and grow better friends than before.
With all my heart. Pray, give me your hand in token of sisterly secrecy.
There.
And now I'll acquaint you with my new design. You have a rich husband and are provided for, but I am at a loss and have no great stock either of fortune or reputation, and therefore must look sharply about me. Sir Sampson has a son.
No luck for you there, dearest. He is enamored of Angelica, which I believe all but the stubbornness of his female admirers concede.
Hey, you must not believe I care a fig for Valentine.
What, not a fig?
Nor a prune, I assure you. I hate the penniless rogue. No, I speak in approbation of his younger brother, who is expected tonight, and by the account I have heard of his education, will prove a nautical fool. His father's estate, you know, is to be made over to him. Now, if I could wheedle him, sister, you understand me?
I do. And will help you to the utmost of my power. And there's luck on our side, for my awkward daughter-in-law, Miss Prue, who you know is designed to be his wife, is late-grown fond of Mr. Tattle. Now, if we can improve that and make her have an aversion for the sailor, it may go a great way towards his liking you. See? Here, they come together. Let us contrive some way to leave them together.
Enter Miss Prue and Tattle.
Mother, look you here.
Fie, Miss Prue. How you bawl. Besides, I have told you, you must not call me mother.
What must I call you then? Are you not my father's wife?
Mary, his second wife, madam, and you must say, madam. My soul, I shall fancy myself old indeed to have this great girl call me mother. Well, miss, what are you so overjoyed at?
Look you here, madam, then, what Mr. Tattle has given me. Look you here, cousin. Here's a snuff box. There's snuff in it. Here, will you have any? Oh, how sweet it is. Mr. Tattle is all over sweet. His wig is sweet, and his gloves are sweet, and his handkerchief is pure sweet. He gave me this ring for a kiss.
Oh, fie, Miss Prue, you must not kiss and tell.
Yes, faith, I may tell my mother. And Mr. Tattle says he'll give me something to make my smock smell sweet, too.
Fie, Miss Prue! Amongst your linen, you must say. You must never say smock.
Why? It is not body, is it, cousin?
Oh, madam, you are too severe upon Miss Prue. You must not find fault with her pretty simplicity. It becomes her rarely. Pretty Miss Prue, don't let him persuade you out of your innocence.
Oh, damn you, Toad. I wish you don't persuade her out of her innocence.
Nay, how can your ladyship have such a thought? Sure, you don't know me.
Aye, devil, sly devil. He thinks we don't observe him, sister, the cunning cur.
They're all so, sister, these men. They love to have the spoiling of a young thing. They are as fond of it as being first in the fashion. I warrant it would break Mr. Tattle's heart to think that anybody else should have a woman before him.
Oh, Lord, Mrs. Frail, I swear, I would not, for the world.
Oh, hang you, who'll believe you, treacherous Raquel? And Miss Prue is very pretty, Faith, very wholesome. I don't know, but I fancy if I were a man.
How you love to jeer one, cousin.
Hark ye, sister, by my soul, the girl is spoiled already. Do you think she'll ever endure a great lubberly seaman? Glad, I warrant you, she won't let Mr. Benjamin come near her after Mr. Tattle.
On my soul, I'm afraid not.
My husband will hang us then. He'll think we brought him thus acquainted.
Come, Faith, let us be gone. If my brother Forsyte should find us with him, he'd think so, sure enough.
So he would, but then leaving them together is bad. And Tattle is such a sly devil, he'll never miss an opportunity.
I don't care. I won't be seen in it.
Well, if you should be caught, sir, you'll have a world to answer for. But remember, I wash my hands of it. I'm thoroughly innocent.
And so am I.
Exeunt Mrs. Forsyte and Mrs. Frail.
What makes him go away, Mr. Tattle? What do they mean? Do you know?
Yes, my dear, I think I can guess. But hang me if I know the reason of it.
Come, must we not go too?
No, no, they don't mean that.
No. What then? What shall you and I do together?
I must make love to you, pretty miss. Will you let me make love to you?
Yes, if you please.
Oh, she's frank at least. What a pox does Mrs. Forsyte mean by this civility? Is it to make a fool of me, or does she leave us together out of Christian morality and do as she would be done by? God, that's how I'll interpret it.
Well, and how will you make love to me? Come, I long to have you begin. Oh, must I make love too? You must tell me how.
You must let me speak, Miss Prue. You must not speak first. I must ask you questions, and you must answer.
Oh, what? It is like the catechism. Oh, come then, ask me.
Do you think you can love me?
Yes.
No, Pox. You must not say yes already. I shan't care a farthing for you if you be so eager.
What must I say then?
Okay, why you must say no, or you believe me not, or you can't tell.
Must I tell a lie then?
Yes, if you'd be well-bred, all well-bred persons lie. Besides, you are a woman. You must never speak what you think. Your words must contradict your thoughts, but your actions may contradict your words. So when I ask you if you can love me, you must say no, but you must love me too. If I tell you you are handsome, you must deny it and say, I flatter you. But you must think yourself more charming than I speak you. If I ask you to kiss me, you must be angry, but you must not refuse me. And as soon as ever I make you cry out, you must be sure to hold your tongue.
Oh, Lord, I swear this is pure. I like it better than our old-fashioned country way of speaking one's mind. Oh, and must not you lie too?
Well, yes, but you must believe I speak truth.
Oh, Gemini. Well, I always had a great mind to tell lies, but my nurse frightened me out of it and said it was a sin.
Oh, well, my pretty creature. Will you make me happy by giving me a kiss?
No, indeed. I'm angry at you.
Miss Prue runs at Tattle and kisses him.
Hold, that's pretty well. But you should not have given the kiss to me, but have suffered me to have taken it.
Well, we'll do it again.
With all my heart. Now then, my little angel.
Tattle kisses Miss Prue.
Oh, fie! Nay, now I can't abide you.
Admirable! That was as well as if you had been born and bred in Covent Garden. And won't you show me, pretty miss, where your bedchamber is?
No, indeed I won't, but I'll run there and hide myself from you behind the curtain.
Then I'll follow you.
Ah, but I'll hold the door with both hands and be angry, and you shall push me down before you come in.
No, I'll come in first and push you down afterwards.
Will you? Oh, then I'll be more angry and more complying.
Then I'll make you cry out.
Oh, but you shan't, for I'll hold my tongue.
Oh, my dear apt scholar.
Well, now I'll run and make more haste than you.
You shall not fly so fast as I'll pursue.
End of Act 2. Act 3. Outside Miss Prue's bedchamber.
Miss Prue. Oh, mercy on me, Mary and amen. Why, what's become of this child? Why, Miss. Sure, she's locked herself in her chamber and is gone to sleep, or to her prayers. Miss, I hear you. Come to your father, child. Open the door. Miss. Oh, I hear you cry, sweeting. Oh, Lord, who's in there?
The nurse peeps through the keyhole.
Oh, what's he to do? Oh, Holy Father! A man with her. Why, Miss, I say. Oh, God's my life. Here's fine doings towards. Oh, Lord, we're all undone. Oh, you young harlotry. What, locked inside with the rake hell? Odds my life. Won't you open the door? Then I'll come in the back way.
Exit the nurse. On the other side of the door, Miss Prue and Tattle are embracing.
Oh, Lord, she's coming and she'll tell my father. What shall I do now?
Pox take her. If she had stayed 2 minutes longer, I should have wished for her coming.
Oh, dear, what shall I say? Tell me, Tattle, tell me a lie.
There's no occasion for a lie. I could never tell a lie to any purpose, but since we have done nothing, we must say nothing, I think. Egad, I hear her. I'll leave you together and come off as you can.
Tattle thrusts Miss Prue into the room and runs out, locking the door behind him. Enter, to one side, Angelica, Valentine, and Scandal.
You can't accuse me of inconstancy. I never told you I loved you.
But I can accuse you of uncertainty for not telling me whether you did or not.
You mistake indifference for uncertainty. I never had concern enough to ask myself the question.
Nor good nature enough to answer him that did ask you.
What, are you setting up for good nature?
Only for the affection of it, as the women do for the ill nature.
Persuade your friend that it is all affectation.
I shall receive no benefit from that opinion, for I know of no difference between continued affectation and reality.
Ah, Scandal, are you in private discourse? Anything of secrecy?
Yes, but I dare tell you, we were talking of Angelica's love to Valentine. You won't speak of it.
No, not a syllable. I know that's a secret, for it's whispered everywhere.
What is, Mr. Tattle? I heard you say something was whispered everywhere.
Your love of Valentine? No, that is, his love for your ladyship. God, take me. I beg your pardon, madam, for I never heard a word of your ladyship's passion till this instant.
My passion? And who told you of my passion, sir?
What, is the devil in you? Did not I tell you for a secret?
God, but I thought she might have been trusted with her own affairs.
Is this your discretion? Trust a woman with herself?
You say true, egad, but I'll fix this. It was impossible, madam, for me to imagine that a person of your ladyship's wit and gallantry could so long have received the passionate addresses of such a man as Valentine and yet remain insensible. Therefore, you will pardon me if I conjectured a reciprocal affection.
Good God. What damned overweening poet has learned thee this cant?
I dare swear you wrong him. It is his own. And Mr. Tattle only judges of the success of others from the effects of his own merit, for certainly he was never denied anything in his life.
Oh, Lord. Yes, indeed, madam. Several times.
I swear, I don't think 'tis possible.
Yes, and I vow and swear I have. Lord, madam, I am the most unfortunate man in the world, and the most cruelly used by the ladies.
Nay, now you're ungrateful, sir. Though, to say the truth, I never met any man who could affect more than the shallow imitation of gratitude. But this brings me from my point.
And what point is that, madam?
That the allegations brought to my charge about my purported affection for this gentleman are unfounded. And I appeal to the highest court in the land, that is, his peers and fellow wits, to clear my name.
Our judgment is at your disposal, madam.
And our gavels, should it come to that.
Then I cite Valentine here to declare to the court how fruitless he has found his endeavors, and to confess all his solicitations and my denials.
I am ready to plead not guilty for you and guilty for myself.
What? This is fair. Here's demonstration with a witness.
Methinks the jury will take his part, madam. Gads, it bodes ill for your client, your feckless woman's heart.
Fie! This proves nothing.
The testimony of a man in love, I admit, counts for little in such cases, but the color rising in your cheeks, madam, may in time uphold the verdict.
Enter Sir Sampson, followed by Mrs. Frail and Miss Prue.
Is my son Ben come yet? Pox, where is he? I long to see him. Now, Mrs. Frail, you shall see my son Ben. Body o' me, he's the hopes of my family. I've not seen him these 3 years. I warrant he's grown. Call him in and bid him make haste. I'm ready to cry for joy.
Now, Miss Prue, you shall see your future husband.
He shall be none of my husband.
Hush. Well, he shan't then. Leave that to me.
Won't you stay and see your brother?
We are the twin stars and cannot shine in one sphere. When he rises, I set. Besides, if I should stay, I don't know but my father, in good nature, may press me to the immediate signing the deed of conveyance of my estate, and I'll defer it as long as I can. Well, you'll come to a resolution.
I can't. Resolution must come to me, or I shall never have one.
Come, Valentine, I'll go with you. I've something in my head to discuss with you.
Exeunt Scandal and Valentine.
What is my son Valentine gone? What is he sneaked off? Would not see his own brother. There's an unnatural whelp. There's an ill-natured dog. What, were you here too, madam, and could not keep him? Could neither love nor duty keep him here? Odds so, madam, I have no more to say to him. He's an undone scoundrel, and only courts your estate.
I'm pretty even with him, Sir Sampson. For if ever I could have liked anything in him, it should have been his estate too. But since that's gone, the bait's off and the naked hook appears.
Odds blood well spoken. You are a wiser woman than I thought you were. For most young women nowadays are to be tempted with a naked hook. Odds so I was afraid you were in love with the reprobate.
Oh, indeed, good Samson. I dare say Angelica loves herself to such a degree she could have none to spare for Valentine.
Enter Ben.
Where's father?
My son Ben! Oh, bless thee, my dear boy. Body o' me, thou art heartily welcome.
Thank you, father, and I'm glad to see you.
Odds blood, and I'm glad to see thee. Kiss me, boy.
In faith, father, I'd rather kiss these gentlewomen.
And so thou shalt. Mrs. Angelica, my son, Ben.
First mate legend, if you please. Nay, mistress, I'm not for dropping anchor here. About ship, i' faith.
Ben turns to Mrs. Frail and kisses her hand.
Mrs. Frail and your servant, sir.
And I am yours, madam. Heartily, I am. And you too, my little cockboat.
Ben turns to Miss Prue and kisses her hand.
Sir, you are welcome ashore.
Thank you, friend.
Thou hast been many a weary league, Ben, since I saw thee.
Aye, indeed, dear father. And how do all at home? In faith, I have a great many questions to ask you. Well, and you be not married again, father, be you?
No, for I intend you shall marry, Ben. I would not marry for thy sake.
Nay, what does that signify? And you marry again, why then I'll go to sea again, so there's one for the other, and that be all. Pray, don't let me be your hindrance, father. For my part, mayhap I have no mind to marry.
That would be a pity. Such a handsome young gentleman.
Handsome. Nay, forsooth, and you be for joking. I'll joke for you, and for I love a jest, and the ship for sinking, as we say at sea. But I'll tell you why I don't much stand towards matrimony. I love to roam about from port to port and from land to land. I could never be port bound, as we call it. Now, a man that is married has, as it were, you see, his feet in the bilboes, and may not get them out when he would.
Ben's a wag!
A man that is married, do you see, is no more like another man than a galley slave is like one of us free sailors. He is chained to one oar all his life, and mayhap forced to tug a leaky vessel into the bargain.
A very wag. Ben's a wag. Only a little rough. He wants a little polishing.
Oh, not at all. I like his humor mightily. It's plain and honest. I should like such a humor in a husband extremely.
Say you so, forsooth. Marry, and I should like such a handsome gentlewoman for a bedfellow hugely. How say you, mistress? Would you like going to sea? Aye, miss. You're a tight vessel and well rigged, and you were but as well mannered, well manned.
I should not doubt that if you were master of me.
But I'll tell you one thing, Anne. You come to sea in a high wind, you must not carry so much sail on your head.
Your mantua, he means.
Lord, sir, and what's amiss with my fashion?
Why, lady, in a high wind you may run the risk to be tumbled o'er by the head, and then you'll carry your keels above water.
I swear Mr. Benjamin is the veriest wag in nature.
And he shall have a mistress to match, so he shall. Come, Miss Prue, you must not be shamefaced. Look you, Ben, this is your mistress.
Sir Sampson presents Miss Prue.
That one? Are you sure?
As sure as a harvest, sir. We'll leave you together.
Oh, Faith, I can't abide to be left alone. May not my cousin stay with me?
No. Come, let's away.
Look you, father, mayhap the young woman does not take a liking to me.
I warrant thee, boy, she will. Come, we'll be gone.
Exeunt all but Ben and Miss Prue.
Come, mistress, will you please to sit down? For an you stand astern like that, we shall never grapple together. Come, I'll haul a chair.
You need not sit so near me if you have anything to say. I can hear you farther off. I am not deaf.
Why, that's true, as you say. Nor am I dumb. I can be heard as far as another. I'll heave off to please you.
Ben moves to sit further off.
And we were a league asunder, I'd undertake to hold discourse with you.
What manner of discourse, sir?
Well, look you, good Lady Prue, I am, as 'twere, bound for the land of matrimony. 'Tis a voyage, d'ye see, that was none of my seeking. I was commanded by father, and if you like of it, mayhap I may steer into your harbor? How say you, mistress?
I do not know what to say to you, and I don't care to speak to you at all.
Oh, pray, why are you so scornful?
As long as one may speak one's mind, one had better not speak at all, I think. And truly, I won't tell a lie.
Nay, you speak true. 'Tis a folly to lie, for to speak one thing and to think just the contrary way is, as 'twere, to look one way and row another. Now, for my part, d'ye see, I'm for carrying things above board. Mayhap you may be shamefaced. Some maidens know they love a man well enough, yet they don't care to tell him so to his face. If that's the case, why, silence gives consent.
Oh, but I don't consent to you, sir, and I don't care who knows it. Let my father do what he will. I'm too big to be whipped, so I may tell you plainly. I don't like you, nor do I love you at all, nor never will. That's all. So there's your answer for you, and don't trouble me no more, you ugly thing.
Look you, young siren, this is exceeding uncivil. I spoke you fair, d'ye see, and kind. As for your love or your liking, I don't value it of a rope's end. What I said was in obedience to father. God's flesh, who are you? You heard the other handsome young woman speak civilly to me of her own accord. Whatever you think of yourself, Gad, I don't think you are any more to compare to her than a can of small beer to a bowl of punch.
Well, there's a handsome gentleman and a fine gentleman and a sweet gentleman that was here that loves me, and I love him. And if he sees you speak to me anymore, he'll thrash your jacket for you. So he will, you great sea calf.
What? You mean that fair weather spark that was here just now? Let him try, faith. But when he comes near me, mayhap I may give him a salt eel for his supper, for all that. What does father mean? He'll leave me alone as soon as I come home with such a dirty dowdy. See, calf? I'm not calf enough to lick your chalked face, you cheese curd, you. Marry thee? Zoons, I'll marry a Lapland witch as soon and live out my hours on a sinking vessel.
I won't be called names, nor will I be abused thus, so I won't. If I were a man, you durst not talk at this rate. No, you durst not, you stinking tar barrel!
Re-enter Mrs. Frail with Mrs. Forsyte.
They have quarreled, just as we could wish.
Tar barrel? Let your tattling sweetheart there call me so, and I'll say something to him. Yet I'll lace his musk doublet for him. I'll make him stink of the ocean.
Bless me, what's the matter? What weeping child? Mr. Benjamin, what have you done to her, sir?
Hang her tears. She has been gathering foul weather in her mouth, and now it rains out at her eyes.
Lord, what shall we do? There's Forsyte and Mr. Sampson coming. Sister, do you take Miss Prue down to the top? Sister, do you take Miss Prue down to the parlor, and I'll carry Mr. Benjamin into my chamber, for the old men must not know that they are fallen out. Come, sir, will you venture yourself with me?
Venture, sweet lady. Aye, that I will, though 'twere to sea in a storm.
Exeunt Ben and Mrs. Frail one way, Miss Prue and Mrs. Forsyte another. Re-enter Sir Sampson with Forsyte.
I've left them together here. What, are they gone? Ah, but Ben's a brisk boy. No doubt he's got her into a corner. Father's own son, faith. Chip off the old block.
Sir Sampson, we'll have the wedding tomorrow morning.
Not with all my heart.
At 10 o'clock, punctually at 10.
Indeed. Good brother Forsyte, they shall be married to a minute, go to bed to a minute, and when the alarm strikes, they shall keep time like the figures of St. Dunstan's clock, and consummatum est shall ring out all over the parish.
Re-enter Scandal.
Sir Sampson, sad news.
Bless us.
Why, what's the matter?
Alas, sir, something has happened. Alas, sir, something has appeared to your son Valentine. He's gone to bed upon it, and very ill. He speaks little, yet he says he has a word to say. Asks for his father and wise Forsyte. Talks of Raymond Lully and the ghost of Lily. I can get nothing out of him but sighs. He desires he may see you in the morning, but would not be disturbed tonight because he has some business to do in a dream.
Yeah, body of me, this is a trick to defer signing the conveyance. I warrant the devil will tell him in a dream that he must not part with his estate. Yeah, but I'll bring him a passion to tell him that the devil's a liar. Or if that won't do, I'll bring a lawyer that shall outlie the devil. But I'll see him tomorrow. You may tell the rascal so.
Exit Sir Sampson.
Alas, Mr. Forsyte, I'm afraid all is not right. You are a wise man and a conscious man, a searcher into obscurity and futurity, and if you commit an error, it is with a great deal of consideration and discretion and caution.
Good Mr. Scandal.
Nay, 'tis manifest. I do not flatter you. But Sir Sampson is hasty, very hasty. I'm afraid he is not scrupulous enough, Mr. Forsyte. He has been wicked, and heaven grant he may mean well in his affair with you.
Alas, Mr. Scandal, humanum est errare.
You say true. Man will err. Man will err, but you are something more. Therefore, dear Mr. Forsyte, you must employ all your arts to divine the cause and cure for Valentine's madness, or who knows whither it may drive him.
Re-enter Mrs. Forsyte.
Husband, will you go to bed? It's 10 o'clock. Oh, Mr. Scandal, your servant.
You keep early hours, madam.
Mr. Forsyte is punctual. We sit up after him.
My dear, pray excuse me, for I must first consult with my runes.
Pray let him, madam. I'll tell you the reason.
Forsyte observes his runes. Scandal pulls Mrs. Forsyte aside.
My passion for you has grown so violent that I am no longer master of myself.
Scandal.
I was interrupted at the exchange this morning when you had the charity enough to give me your attention. And wow. I was interrupted at the exchange this morning when you had charity enough to give me your attention, and the desire that has attended me ever since brings me hither to your home at this unseasonable hour.
Is there ever such impudence to make love to me before my husband's face? I swear I'll tell him.
Do. I'll die a martyr rather than disclaim my passion. But come a little farther this way, and I'll tell you what project I have to get him out of the way, that I might have an opportunity of waiting upon you.
You're the most reprehensible man.
Then would you have me be gone?
Not for the world.
They embrace. Enter the nurse.
Oh, nurse. Your master is preoccupied with divinations. Pray, help him to his study, that he might pore upon them without tedious interruption.
So I shall, madam. Marry and amen. 'Twill be my honor to lead him thither. God's my little heart. Your husband is the most illustrious oracle, madam.
And the most lackluster husband. Well, sir, I hope you will be able to see Valentine in the morning.
Marry, that I will, Mr. Scandal. I will. Nurse, let me have a watchlight and lead me to my study. Good night, dear Scandal.
Exeunt Forsyte and the nurse.
Good night, good Mr. Forsyte. And I hope Mars and Venus will be in conjunction while your wife and I are together.
Vanity. You cannot think you are like to succeed in your design upon me.
Yes, faith I do. I have a better opinion both of you and myself than to despair.
Hark ye, devil. Do you think any woman honest?
Yes, several very honest. They'll cheat a little at cards sometimes, but that's nothing.
But virtuous, I mean.
Yes, faith, I believe some women are virtuous too. But 'tis as I believe some men are valiant, that is, through fear. For why should a man court danger or a woman shun pleasure?
Oh, fie, I swear you're impudent.
I swear you're handsome.
Psh, you tell me so, though you did not think so.
You think so, though I shall not tell you so. And now I think we know one another pretty well.
Oh, Lord, who's here?
Scandal and Mrs. Forsyte hide together. Re-enter Ben and Mrs. Frail.
Gad, I love to speak my mind. Father has nothing to do with me. If so be that I be not minded to be steered by him, you may as well strive against wind and tide.
Aye, but, my dear, we must keep it secret till the estate be settled. For you know, marrying without an estate is like sailing in a ship without a ballast.
Why, that's true, it is indeed. As like as two cable ropes.
And although I have a good portion, I would not venture all in one bottom.
Why, that's true again, for mayhap one bottom may spring a leak. You have hit it indeed, Mrs. Frail. You have nicked the channel.
And if you should forsake me after all, you'd break my heart.
Break your heart? Flesh, you don't think I'm false-hearted like a landman. A sailor will be honest, though mayhap he has never a penny of money in his pocket. No, I've good blood in my veins, madam, and a heart as sound as a biscuit.
And you will love me always.
Nay, and I love once, I'll stick like pitch, I'll tell you that. Come, I'll sing you a song of a sailor.
Here's a seduction indeed, madam. Does not this fool's performance throw my kindness into sharper relief?
Shh. Oh, sister, have you been hiding all this while? With Mr. Scandal, too. Prithee, step forth, gentlemen. My gallant Mr. Benjamin intends to delight us with a song.
Aye, and if some of our crew that came to see me are not gone, dear madam, you shall see that we sailors can dance sometimes as well as other folks. I warrant that'll bring 'em, and they be within hearing.
Enter some seamen.
Oh, here they be, and fiddles along with them. Come, my lads, let's have a round, and I'll make one.
Ben and the seamen dance a sailor's jig.
We're merry folks, we sailors, we haven't much to care for. Thus we live at sea, eat biscuits, and drink flip. On clean shirts once a quarter, come home and lie with our landladies once a year. Get rid of a little money, and then put off with the next fair wind. How do you like us?
Oh. You are the happiest, merriest men alive.
We are beholden to Mr. Benjamin for this entertainment. I believe it's late.
Why, forsooth, and you think so. You had best go to bed. For my part, I mean to toss a can and remember my sweetheart afore I turn in. Mayhap I may dream of her.
Mr. Scandal, you had best go to bed and dream too.
Why, faith, I have a lively imagination and can dream as much to the purpose as another. But I am not a worn-out sinner or a wishing schoolboy, madam. Therefore, no dream will surfeit my desire. There's naught but willing, waking love that can make blessed this ripened maid and finished man.
End of Act 3, or A Room in Scandal's Lodging.
Well, is your master ready? Does he look madly and talk madly?
Yes, sir, you need make no great doubt of that. 'Tis a natural progression that the man so near turning poet one morning should turn madman the next day.
Would he have Angelica acquainted with the reason of his design?
No, sir, not yet. He has a mind to try whether his playing the madman won't make her play the fool and fall in love with him, or at least own that she has loved him all this while and concealed it.
An excellent device. Well, I'll try her. Oh, here she comes.
Enter Angelica and Jenny.
Mr. Scandal, I suppose you don't think it a novelty to see a woman visit a man at his own lodgings in a morning?
Not upon a kind occasion, madam, but when a lady comes tyrannically to insult a ruined lover, the barbarity of it is something surprising to me.
I don't like raillery from a serious face. Pray, tell me, what's the matter?
No strange matter, madam. My master's mad, that's all. I suppose your ladyship has thought him so a great while.
But how do you mean mad?
Why, faith, madam, he's mad for want of his wits, just as he was poor for want of money. His head is e'en as light as his pockets, and anybody that has a mind to a bad bargain can't do better than to beg him for his estate.
If you speak truth, your endeavoring at wit is very unseasonable. Pray, tell me the truth.
Faith, madam, I wish telling a lie would mend the matter.
I know not what to think, Jenny. Yet I should be vexed to have a trick put upon me.
Demand a visitation, madam, and observe how they reply.
Wisely counseled, Faith. May I not see him, sir?
I'm afraid the physician is not willing you should see him yet. Jeremy, go in and inquire.
Exit Jeremy.
I saw him wink and smile.
I saw it too. Madam, I fancy 'tis a trick.
Well then, if I don't play trick for trick, may I never taste the pleasure of revenge. Mr. Scandal, I would disguise to all the world a failing which I must own to you. I fear my happiness depends upon the recovery of Valentine. Therefore, I conjure you, as you are his friend, to tell me what I am to hope for, as I suspect. You know what I would ask?
Be not too concerned, madam. I hope his condition is not desperate. An acknowledgement of love from you, perhaps, may work as a cure, as the fear of your aversion occasioned his distemper.
Oh dear. I find you have mistaken my compassion and think me guilty of a weakness I am a stranger to. Good nature and humanity oblige me to be concerned for him, but to love is neither in my power nor inclination. And if Valentine can't be cured unless I suck the poison from his wounds, I'm afraid he won't recover his senses till I lose mine.
Heyday. Brave woman with faith.
So are we all, Mr. Scandal, all brave women when you look close. Come, Jenny.
Exeunt Angelica and Jenny.
An admirable composition. Faith, this womankind.
Re-enter Jeremy.
What, is she gone, sir?
Gone? Well, she was never here, nor anywhere else. Nor I don't know her if I see her. Nor you neither.
Zoons, what's the matter now? Are any more of us to be mad? Why, sir, my master longs to see Angelica and is almost mad in earnest with the joyful news of her being here.
We are all under a mistake. Ask no questions, for I can't resolve you. But I'll inform your master. I hear Sir Sampson. You know your cue. I'll to Valentine.
Exit Scandal. Enter Sir Sampson and Buckram.
Do you see, Mr. Buckram? Here's the paper, signed with his own hand.
Good, sir. And the conveyance is ready drawn, if he be ready to sign and seal.
Ready? Body of me, he must be ready. His sham sickness shan't excuse him. Here's his scoundrel. Sirrah, where's your master?
Sir, he's quite gone.
Gone? What, is he not dead?
No, sir, not dead.
What, is he gone out of town? Run away? Huh? Has he tricked me? Speak, varlet.
No, sir, he's safe enough, sir. Would he were as sound, poor gentleman. He is indeed here, and not here, sir.
Hey, Dame rascal, do you banter me? Where is Valentine? For I will find him.
Would you could, sir, for he has lost himself. His skull's cracked, poor gentleman. He's stark mad, sir.
Mad?
What? Is he non-compos?
Quite non-compos, sir.
Why, then all is obliterated, Sir Sampson. If he be non-compos mentis, his act and deed will be of no effect. It is not good in law.
Oh, so I won't believe it. Let me see him, sir. I'll make him find his senses.
Mr. Scandal is with him, sir. I'll knock at the door.
Jeremy opens the door. Enter Valentine in a pretended fit, led by Scandal.
How now? What's here to do?
Who's that?
For heaven's sake, speak softly, sir, and gently. Don't provoke him.
Answer me. Who is that? And that?
Cads, how does he not know me? No, I'll speak gently. Valentine. Valentine, dost thou not know me, boy? Not know thy own father, Valentine? I am thy own father, and this is honest Buckram, the lawyer.
It may be so. The world is full. There are people that we do know, and people that we do not know, and yet the sun shines upon all alike. There are fathers that have many children, and there are children that have many fathers. 'Tis strange, but I am truth, and come to give the world the lie.
Body of me, I know not what to say to him.
Why does that lawyer wear black? Does he carry his conscience external? Lawyer, what art thou? dost thou know me?
Oh, Lord, what must I say? Yes, sir.
Thou liest, for I am truth. There's no decency to be found in your courtroom, sir. Faith, it's a question that would puzzle an arithmetician if you should ask him whether the Bible saves more souls in Westminster Abbey or damns more in Westminster Hall. For my part, I am truth and can't tell.
Body of me, he talks sensibly in his madness. Has he no intervals?
Very short, sir.
Sir, I can do you no service while he's in this condition. Here's your paper, sir. He may do me a mischief if I stay. The conveyance is ready, sir, if Mr. Valentine recover his senses.
Exit Buckram.
Hold! Don't you go yet?
You'd better let him go, sir, and send for him if there be occasion, for I fancy his presence provokes your son more.
Is the lawyer gone? 'Tis well. Then we may drink without going together by the ears. Hey-ho, my father here. Your blessing, sir.
He recovers. Bless thee, Valentine. How dost thou, boy?
Thank you, sir. Pretty well. I've been a little out of order.
Come, dear boys, sit thee down. Sweet Valentine, come, sit by me.
Miracle, the monster grows loving.
Let me feel thy hand again, boy. It doesn't shake. I believe thou canst write, Valentine. Huh, boy? Thou canst write thy name, I think. Jeremy, go and overtake Mr. Buckram. Bid him make haste back with the conveyance. Go!
Exit Jeremy.
That ever I should suspect such a heathen of any remorse.
Dost thou know this paper, Valentine?
Pray let me see it, sir. You hold it so far off that I can't tell whether I know it or no.
See it, boy? I? Why, thou dost see it. 'Tis thine own hand, Valley. Why, let me see. I can read it as plain as can be. Look here. The condition of this obligation. Look you, as plain as can be. Look here. As witness as my hand, Valentine, legend, in great letters. Dost thou not remember? 'Tis your conveyance to Benjamin. I'll put it up in my pocket, Valentine, and then 'tis safe. There. But thou shalt have it as soon as thou hast set thy hand to another paper, little Valentine.
Re-enter Jeremy.
Sarah, where's the lawyer?
Fled the house, sir. I could not catch him.
Is the counselor gone? Faith. He needs courage. Let me alone with him. I am truth and can set him right. But who comes here? A Peter, or a bearded Sybil? Oh, 'tis the latter. Nay, if prophecy comes, truth must give place.
Exeunt Valentine and Jeremy. Enter Forsyte, Mrs. Forsyte, and Mrs. Frail.
Ah, Sir Sampson, bless us this fine day. How are we?
How are we? A pox of your prognostication. Why, we are fools as we used to be. Zoons, Master Stargazer, how in all your divinations could you not foresee that the moon would predominate and my son be mad?
Mad?
Sir Sampson, heaven help your head. This is none of your lucky hour. Nemo omnibus horis sapit.
You're a fool, every one of you. But I'll have my conclusion.
Exit Sir Sampson.
Is he gone and in contempt of science? Ill stars and unconvertible ignorance attend him.
You must excuse his passion, Mr. Forsyte, for he has been heartily vexed. His son is non compos menti, and thereby incapable of making any conveyance in law, so that all his measures are disappointed.
Huh, say you so?
What, has my sea lover lost his anchor of hope, then?
Oh, sister, what will you do with him?
Do with him? Send him to sea again in the next foul weather. He's used to an inconstant element and won't be surprised to see the tide turned.
Wherein was I mistaken not to foresee this?
Madam, you and I can tell him something else that he did not foresee, and more closely relating to his own fortune.
What do you mean, Mr. Scandal? I don't understand you.
Why, the pleasures of last night, my dear, too considerable to be forgotten so soon?
Last night? And what would your impudence infer from last night? Last night was like the night before, I think.
Steph, do you make no difference between me and your husband?
Not much. He's superstitious, and you're mad.
You make me mad. You are serious. Pray recollect yourself.
Oh, yes. Now, I remember. You were very impertinent and would have come to bed with me.
And then I did.
Is that you?
A plague of all vixens. You look well, Mr. Forsyte. How did you rest last night?
Truly, Mr. Scandal, I was so taken up with broken dreams that I remember little.
'Twas a very forgetting night. But would you not talk with Valentine? A man of your gifts may understand him, or at least divine the cause of his lunacy.
You speak with singular good judgment, Mr. Scandal. Let us go to him.
Sister, do you go with them? I'll find out my lover and give him his discharge, and then come to you. On my conscience, here he comes.
Exeunt Forsyte, Mrs. Forsyte, and Scandal. Enter Ben.
Benjamin, my sweet sailor!
Oh, I'm pleased I have found you, Mrs. Frail. I have had such a hurricane upon your account yonder.
My account? Pray, what's the matter?
Why, father came and found me squabbling with yon chitty-faced thing as he would have me married. So he asked what was the matter. He asked in a surly sort of way. It seems brother Valentine is gone mad, and so that put him into a passion. So I answered him as surly, that though he may be my father, I am not bound apprentice to him. So faith, I told him in plain terms that if I were minded to marry, I'd marry to please myself, not him. And I told him, moreover, that Miss Prissy Prue, that she-devil he designed me for, did not please me in the slightest.
So then you intend to go to sea again?
Nay, nay, my mind ran upon you, but I would not tell him so much. So he said he'd make my heart ache and marry himself. Gad, says I, and you play the fool and marry at these years. There's more danger of your head's aching than my heart.
And were you this undutiful and graceful, and were you this undutiful and graceless wretch to your own father?
Then why was he graceless first? If I am undutiful, why did he beget me so? I did not make myself.
Oh, impiety! How have I been mistaken? What an inhuman, merciless sea creature have I set my heart upon.
Hey, Toss, what's the matter now? Why you be not angry, be you?
See me no more, for thou wert born amongst rocks, suckled by whales, cradled in a tempest, and whistled to by winds, and thou art come forth with fins and scales and 3 rows of teeth, a most outrageous fish of prey.
Oh, Lord, she's mad, poor young woman.
No, I am not mad, monster. I am wise enough to find you out. Hadst thou the impudence to aspire at being a husband with that stubborn and disobedient temper, You that know not how to submit to a father presume to have a sufficient stock of duty to undergo a wife.
What do you mean, ungrateful Charybdis? After all your fair speeches and stroking my cheeks and kissing and embracing, what? Would you sheer off so? Would you so and leave me aground?
No, I'll leave you adrift and go which way you will go.
What? Are you false-hearted then?
Only the winds changed.
Oh, more shame for you. The wind's changed. It's an ill wind blows nobody good. What? Did you mean all this while to make a fool of me?
Any fool but a husband.
Husband. Gad, I would not be your husband now. Though you had your weight in gold and jewels, and though I loved you never so well.
Why canst thou love porpoise?
Don't call me names. I don't love you so well as to bear that whatever I did. Gad, lady, I believe the sot that marries you will go to sea in a hen-pecked frigate. I believe that Calypso and may come to anchor at Cuckold's Point. So, there's for you, madam. Take it as you will. I wash my hands of your sea salt.
Exit Ben. Re-enter Mrs. Forsyte.
Oh, sister, had you come a minute sooner, you would have seen the resolution of a lover. Honest tar barrel and I are parted with the same indifference that we met.
What then? He bore it most heroically?
Most tyrannically. For you see, he has got the start of me, and I, the poor forsaken maid, am left complaining on the shore. But I'll tell you a hint that he has given me. Sir Sampson is enraged and talks desperately of committing matrimony himself. If he has a mind to throw himself away, he can't do it more efficiently than upon me, if we could bring it about.
Oh, hang him, old fox. He's too cunning. Besides, he hates both you and me. But I have a project in my head for you, and 'tis already underway. I have almost made a bargain with Jeremy, Valentine's man, to sell his master to us.
Sell him? How?
Valentine raves upon Angelica, and just now mistook me for her. And Jeremy says we'll take anybody for her that he imposes on him. Now, I have promised him mountains of gold if, in one of his mad fits, Jeremy will bring you to him in her stead and get you married together and put to bed together. And after consummation, my dear, there's no revoking it. Here they come. Step aside with me, sister, and we will lay our plan.
Re-enter Forsyte and Valentine, followed by Jeremy and Scandal, talking quietly.
And have you given your master a hint of their plot upon him?
Yes, sir. He says he'll favor it and mistake her for Angelica.
It may make us sport.
Sweet Sagittarius Valentine, how you talk.
Hush, fool! Interrupt me not. I'll whisper prediction to thee, Haley, and thou shalt prophesy. I am truth, and can teach thy tongue a new trick. Ask me questions concerning tomorrow.
Ask him, Forsyte.
Pray, what will be done at court?
Scandal will tell you. I am truth. I never come there.
And in the city?
Oh, things will go methodically in the city. The clocks will strike 12 at noon, and the horned herd buzz in the exchange at 2. Wives and husbands will drive distinct trades, and care and pleasure separately occupy the family. Coffee houses will be full of smoke and stratagem, and the cropped apprentice that sweeps his master's shop in the morning may, 10 to 1, dirty his sheets before night. But there are 2 things that you will see very strange, which are wanton wives with their legs at liberty, and tame cuckolds with chains about their neck.
frenzy is very high now, Mr. Scandal.
I believe it is a spring tidal.
Very likely true.
Oh, why would Angelica be absent from my eyes so long?
She's here, sir.
Now, sister.
Lord, what must I say?
Humor him, madam, by all means.
Where is she? Oh, I see Angelica. She comes like riches, health, and liberty at once to a despairing, starving, and abandoned wretch. Oh, welcome, madam.
How do you do, sir? How can I serve you?
Harkee, sweet mistress, I have a secret to tell you. Endymion and the moon shall meet us upon Mount Latmos, and will be married in the dead of the night. But shh! Say not a word. Nobody shall know but Jeremy.
No. No, we'll keep it secret. It shall be done presently.
The sooner the better. Jeremy, come hither, I can tell you news. Angelica is turned nun, and I am turning friar, and yet we'll marry one another in spite of the Pope. Get me a cowl and beads that I may play my part, for she'll meet me 2 hours hence in black and white, and a long veil to cover the project, and we won't see one another's faces till we have done something to be ashamed of.
I'll take care, sir, and...
Whisper!
I'll do it, sir.
Re-enter Angelica with Tattle.
Nay, Mr. Tattle, if you make love to me, you spoil my design, for I intend to make you my confidant.
Oh, but madam, to throw away your person, such a person, and such a fortune as 30,000 pounds upon a madman.
How's this? Tattle making love to Angelica?
Alas, madam, you don't know me. I have much ado to tell your ladyship how long I have been in love with you.
Oh!
But look upon us both. There you see the ruins of a poor decayed creature. Here, a complete and lively figure with youth and health and all of his 5 senses in perfection, madam, and the most passionate lover.
Oh, fie, for shame! A passionate lover and 5 senses in perfection? When you are as mad as Valentine, then I'll believe you love me, and the maddest shall take me.
Who's here?
Oh, Lord, her coming will spoil all.
Madam, he won't know Angelica. If he should, I can persuade him.
Scandal! Who are these? Foreigners? If they are, I'll tell you what I think. Get away all the company but Angelica, that I may discover my design to her.
Well, I have discovered something of Tattle that might serve us. He courts Angelica, Mrs. Frell, your brother. If we could contrive to couple them up together.
A good plot, if faith. Acquaint Jeremy with it. He may easily bring it about.
Scandal goes aside with Jeremy.
Good Lord, cousin. Why is the whole world in whispers?
Valentine is not himself, cousin. I dare say he won't know you. He knows nobody.
Knows more than anybody. Oh, niece, he knows things past and to come, and all the profound secrets of time.
What? Do you look strange upon me? Then I must be plain. I am truth and hate, an old acquaintance with a new face.
Do you know me, Valentine?
No, I hope not.
I am Jack Tattle, your friend.
But how are you my friend, sir? I am no married man, so thou canst not lie with my wife. I am very poor, so thou canst not borrow money of me. Then what employment have I for a friend?
Ha! A good open speaker and not to be trusted with a secret.
Do you know me, Valentine?
Oh, very well.
And who am I?
You're a woman. One to whom, heaven gave beauty when it grafted roses on a briar. You are the reflection of heaven in a pond, and he that leaps at you is sunk. I know you, for I loved a woman, and I loved her so long that I found out a strange thing. I found out what a woman was good for.
Prithee, what's that?
Why, to keep a secret. Oh, exceeding good to keep a secret. For though a woman should tell, yet she is not to be believed.
Ah, good. Again, Faith.
What think you of our design, Jeremy?
Faith, I'll do it, sir.
Mr. Forsyte, we had best leave him. He may grow outrageous and do mischief.
I will be directed by you.
Scandal gestures to the door. Exit Forsyte. Jeremy and Mrs. Frail talk apart.
You'll meet, madam. I'll take care. Everything shall be ready.
I am ready, sir, and dare swear I shall make your master a goodly wife.
Madam, shall I wait upon you?
No. I'll stay with the lunatic. Mr. Scandal will protect me. Aunt, Mr. Tattle desires you would give him leave to wait on you.
Pox on it, there's no staying with her now she has said that. Good Mrs. Forsyte, will you do me the honor?
Mr. Tattle might have used less ceremony.
Jeremy, follow Tattle.
Exeunt Tattle and Mrs. Forsyte, followed by Jeremy.
Mr. Scandal, I only stay till my maid comes, and because I had a mind to be rid of Mr. Tattle.
Aye, madam, for I suspect Tattle's impertinence forced you to acknowledge an inner kindness for Valentine, which you denied to all his sufferings and my solicitations. So I'll leave him to make use of the discovery, and your ladyship to the free confession of your inclinations.
Oh, heavens! You won't leave me alone with a madman.
No, madam, I only leave a madman to his remedy.
Exit Scandal.
Madam, you need not be very much afraid, for I fancy I begin to come to myself.
Hi, but if I don't fit you, I'll be hanged.
You see what disguises love makes us put on? Gods have been in counterfeited shapes for the same reason, and the divine part of me, my mind, has worn this mask of madness only as the slave of love and menial creature of your beauty.
Mercy on me, how he talks! Poor Valentine.
Nay, Faith, now let us understand one another, hypocrisy apart. The comedy draws toward an end, and let us think of leaving acting and be ourselves. And since you have loved me, you must own I have at length deserved you should confess it.
I would I had loved you. For heaven knows I pity you. And could I have foreseen the sad effects, I would have striven. But that's too late.
What? Sad effects? What's too late? My seeming madness has deceived my father and procured me time to think of means to reconcile me to him and preserve the right of my inheritance to his estate, which otherwise by articles I must this morning have resigned. And this I would have informed you of today, but you were gone before I knew you had been here.
How? I thought your love of me had caused this transport of your soul, which it seems you only counterfeited for mercenary ends and sordid interest.
Nay, now you do me wrong, for if any interest was considered, it was yours, since I thought I wanted more than love to make me worthy of you.
Oh, then you thought me mercenary?
No.
Unkind! I would not have expected so harsh an appraisal from you, Valentine. But alas, I dare say your flattery has absconded with your wits.
My flattery is rooted in my tongue, madam, but cannot sprout in the desert of your unrivaled cruelty.
What else but cruel could you expect a young lady to be in a world full of tedious bachelors who never approach her, but they inevitably find cause to remind her she is worth 30,000 pounds?
You would be worth less?
I would my fortune had no value, and my soul dearer than the moon.
Aye, but which moon? For a moon in Pisces, as I am given to understand by your Uncle Foresight, can be little relied upon for the happiness of a maid.
Your raillery vexes me, but 'tis my own fault to entertain it. How am I deluded by this interval of sense to reason with a madman?
No, Come, 'tis barbarous to misunderstand me longer.
Re-enter Jeremy.
No, here's a rascal who lacks the impudence to persevere. Come, Jeremy, acknowledge your trick and confess your master's madness a counterfeit.
Counterfeit, madam? I'll maintain him to be as absolutely and substantially mad as any freeholder in Bethlehem. He's as mad as any fanatic, lover, or poet in Europe.
Sirrah, hang thee! I am not mad!
Oh, Lord, madam, did you ever know any madman mad enough to own it?
Ingrate, can't you apprehend?
Why, he talked very sensibly just now.
Yes, madam, he has his intervals, but you see, he begins to look wild again now.
Why, you thick-skulled rascal, I tell you, the farce is done!
Is he mad or no, Jeremy?
Partly, I think, for he does not know his own mind 2 hours. I'm sure I left him just now in the humor to be mad, and it seems 10 words with you have converted him into downright insanity.
The sound of knocking.
Who's there?
Go see, you sot.
Exit Jeremy.
I'm very glad that I can move your mirth, madam, though not your compassion.
I did not think you had apprehension enough to discern the difference. But madmen show themselves most by over-pretending to a sound understanding, as drunken men do by overacting sobriety. I was half inclining to believe you, till I accidentally touched upon your tender part. But now you have restored me to my former opinion and compassion.
Re-enter Jeremy.
Sir, your father has sent to know if you are any better yet. Will you please to be mad, sir, or how?
Pity. You know the penalty of all I'm worth must pay for the confession of my senses. I'm mad. We'll be mad to everybody, but this lady.
So just the very backside of truth. Madam, here's your ladyship's woman.
Enter Jenny as Jeremy withdraws.
Oh, have you been there? Come hither, Jenny.
Yes, madam. Sir Samson will wait upon you presently.
You are not leaving me in this uncertainty.
Would anything but a madman complain of uncertainty? Uncertainty and expectation are the joys of life. Security is an insipid thing, and the overtaking and possessing of a wish exposes the folly of the chase. Never let us know one another better, Valentine, but let us be very secret and freely led. For the pleasure of a masquerade is done when we come to show our faces. But I'll tell you 2 things before I leave you. I am not the fool you take me for. And you are mad and don't know it.
Exeunt Angelica and Jenny.
From a riddle, one can expect nothing but a riddle. There's my instruction and the moral of my lesson.
What, is the lady gone again, sir? I hope you understood one another before she went.
Understood? She is harder to be understood than a piece of Egyptian antiquity or an Irish manuscript. Man may pore upon her till he spoils his eyes and not improve his knowledge.
I've heard him say, sir, they read hard Hebrew books backwards. Maybe you begin to read at the wrong end.
Aye, they say so of a witch's prayer. And dreams and Dutch almanacs are to be understood by contraries, but there's regularity and method in that. She is a medal without a reverse or inscription, for indifference has both sides alike. But while she does not seem to hate me, I will pursue her and know her, if it be possible, in spite of the opinion of my satirical friend Scandal, who says that women are like tricks by sleight of hand, which to admire we should not understand.
End of Act 4. Act 5. A room in Forsyte's house.
Where is Sir Sampson? Did you not tell me he would be here before me?
He's at the great mirror in the dining room, madam, setting his cravat and wig.
I'm glad on it. If he has a mind I should like him, it's a sign he likes me. And that's more than half my design.
I hear him, madam.
Leave me. And do you hear? If Valentine should come or send, I am not to be spoken with.
Shall I tell him the reason, madam?
No, Faith, Jenny, tell the man anything but that, for he is truth, and nothing but the truth. So to be even with him, as we are women, we must give him a lie.
Pray God you know what 'tis you do, madam, and to what end. For however valiantly you protest against your love for Mr. Valentine, I perceive the happiness of 2 souls hangs upon your gamble here. So I leave you to Mr. Sampson.
Enter Sir Sampson. Exit Jenny.
I've not been honoured with the commands of a fair lady a great while. Odds my life, Madam Angelica, you have revived me. Not since I was 35.
Why, you have no great reason to complain, Sir Sampson. That is not so long ago.
Zooks! But it is, madam, a very great while to a man that admires a fine woman as much as I do.
You're an absolute courtier, Sir Sampson.
Zoons, I have warm blood about me yet and can serve a lady anyway. Now, let me tell you, you women think a man old too soon, by heaven you do. Come, don't despise 50. Odds my life, 50 in a hale constitution is no such contemptible age.
50? A contemptible age? Not at all. A very fashionable age, I think. I have seen 50 in a side box by candlelight outblossom 5 and 20.
Lusty geldings, please take 'em. Hang your side box beau. No, I'm none of those, madam. I am of a long-lived race, and I inherit vigour. I am of your patriarchs, forsooth, and no flood shall wash me away. Well, madam, what are your commands? Has any young rogue affronted you, and shall I cut his throat?
No, Sir Sampson, I have no quarrel upon my hands. To tell you the truth, I am grown weary of living single and want a husband.
Faith and troth, she's devilish handsome. Madam, you deserve a good husband, and 'twere pity you should be thrown away upon any of these young idle rogues about the town. They never think beforehand of anything, and if they commit matrimony, 'tis as they commit murder, out of a frolic. And so beware the young gallant, madam.
Therefore, I ask your advice, Sir Sampson. I have fortune enough to make any man easy that I like, if there were such a thing as a young, agreeable man with a healthy stock of common sense. For I would have neither an absolute wit nor a fool.
Oh, so you are hard to please, madam. To find a young fellow that is neither a wit in his own eye nor a fool in the eyes of the world is a very hard task.
Faith, I should like a man of wit for a lover, because I would have such a one in my power. But I would no more be his wife than his enemy, for a clever man's malice is not a more terrible consequence of his aversion than his jealousy is of his love.
None of old Forsyte's sibyls ever uttered such a truth. Odds blood. You've won my heart. I hate a wit. I had a son that was spoiled among 'em, a good hopeful lad till he learned to be a wit, which ran him out of his money, and now his poverty has run him out of his wits.
Sir Sampson, as your friend, I must tell you, you are very much abused in that matter. Valentine is no more mad than you are.
How, madam? Would I could prove it.
I can tell you how that may be done. But it is a thing that would make me appear to be too much concerned in your affairs.
Odds blood, I believe she likes me. Madam, all my affairs are scarce worthy to be laid at your feet, and I wish they were in better posture, that I might make a more becoming offer to a lady of your incomparable beauty and merit.
Bless me, Sir Sampson. What's the matter?
Odds my life, madam. I love you.
Hold, Sir Sampson. I was indeed thinking to propose something like this in jest, satisfy you about Valentine, for if a match were seemingly carried on between you and me, it would oblige your lovesick son to throw off his disguise of madness for fear of losing me.
Ingenious contrivance, but why must the match be seemingly carried on? So let it be a real contract.
Oh, fie, Sir Sampson! What would the world say?
Say? They would say you are a wise woman and I a happy man. Oh, madam, I'll love you as long as I live and leave you a good jointure when I die.
Aye, but that is not in your power, Sir Sampson. For when Valentine confesses himself in his senses, he must make over his inheritance to his younger brother.
Oh, so you're a cunning baggage. Faith and troth, I like you better and better. But I warrant you, I have a proviso in the obligation in favour of myself, should I beget another son. Ha ha! Odds blood! Let us find children, and I'll find an estate.
Will you? Well, do you find the estate and leave the making of children to me?
Oh, rogue. But I'll trust you. And will you consent? Is it a match, then?
Let me consult my lawyer concerning the obligation, and if I find what you propose practicable, I'll give you my answer.
With all my heart. Come in with me, and I'll lend you the bond. You shall consult my lawyer, and I'll consult a parson. Ha! Odds my life. You're devilish handsome, and I'm very young and very lusty. I think we are very well met. Give me a hand, lady. Let me kiss it.
Sir Sampson kisses Angelica's hand.
Soft and warm, madam. I warrant I shall never be done kissing it, so I shan't.
Hold, Sir Sampson! You're profuse of your vigor before your time. You'll spend your whole estate before you come to it.
No, only to give you a rent roll of my possessions. Oh, baggage. I warrant you for a little Samson. Lord Samson's a very good name for an able fellow. Also, here's somebody coming. Hurry, away.
Exeunt Sir Sampson and Angelica. Enter Tattle and Jeremy.
Is not that Angelica gone out just now?
Aye, sir. She's just going to the place of appointment.
Excellent. The time draws nigh, Jeremy. Angelica will be veiled like a nun, and I must be hooded like a friar, huh?
Aye, sir. Hooded like a hawk to seize at first sight upon the quarry. It is the whim of my master's madness to be thus dressed, and Angelica is so in love with him she'll comply with anything to please him. Poor lady. I'm sure she'll have reason to thank me when she finds what a happy exchange has been made between a madman and so accomplished a gentleman as Mr. Tattle.
Aye, Faith, so she will, Jeremy. We are good friends to her. I swear, I agreed to this marriage hardly so much in consideration of myself as compassion for her.
Oh, 'tis an act of charity, sir, to save so fine a woman worth 30,000 pounds from throwing herself away.
Mary, amen.
Well, sir, I'll go and tell her my master's coming and meet you shortly with your disguise. Now, you must talk a little madly. She won't distinguish the tone of your voice.
No, let me alone for a counterfeit. I will be ready for you.
Exit Jeremy. Enter Miss Prue.
Oh, Mr. Tattle, are you here? Oh, I'm glad I found you. I've been looking up and down for you till I'm as tired as anything in the world.
Oh, Pox, how shall I get rid of this foolish girl?
Oh, I have pure news. I can tell you pure news. I must not marry the seaman now. My father says so. Then why won't you be my husband? You say you love me, but yet you won't be my husband. That's very strange and wrong. But I know you may be my husband now, if you please.
Oh, fie, Miss Prue. Who told you so, child?
Why, my father. I told him that you loved me.
Oh, fie, miss. Why did you do so?
You told me that you loved me.
Oh, Pox. That was yesterday, miss. That was a great while ago. I have been asleep since, slept a whole night, and did not so much as dream of the matter.
Oh, but I dreamt that it was so.
But your father will tell you that dreams come by contraries, child. Fie. You're a woman now, and must think of a new man every morning and forget him every night.
Well, but don't you love me as well as you did last night, then?
No, child. You would not have me.
No. Yes, but I would have you.
I tell you, you would not. You forget. You're a woman and don't know your own mind.
But here's my father, and he knows my mind.
Enter Foresight.
Mr. Tattle, your servant. You are a close man, but methinks your love to my daughter was a secret I might have been trusted with. You must have known I would give my approbation.
Sir, I beg your pardon. I'm a little in haste.
For what?
To be married, sir. Married.
Aye, but pray take me along with you, sir.
No, sir, 'tis to be done privately. I never make confidants.
Well, but my consent. I mean, you won't marry my daughter without my consent.
Who? Sir. I'm an absolute stranger to you and your daughter, sir.
Heyday, what time of the moon is this?
The time when truth ought to be spoken. Mr. Forsyth, then let me tell you, I have no more love for your daughter than I have faith in your prophecies. And I'm going to be married just now, yet did not know of it half an hour ago, and the lady stays for me and does not know of it yet. There's a mystery for you, sir. I know you love to untie difficulties, or if you can't solve this, stay here a quarter of an hour and I'll come back and explain it to you.
Exit Tattle.
Oh, Father, why will you let him go? Won't you make him be my husband?
Mercy on us. What do these lunacies portend? Alas, he's mad, child, stark mad.
What, and must not I have ever a husband then? What, must I go to bed to nurse again and be a child as long as she's an old woman? Indeed, but I won't. For now my mind is set upon a man, and I will have a man, some way or other.
Oh, fearful, I think the girl's influence too. Hussy, you shall have a rod.
Fiddle of a rod. I'll have a husband. And if you won't get me one, Father, I'll get one for myself.
Rogue.
Tyrant.
Whore.
Cuckold.
Enter Mrs. Forsyth, Scandal, and the nurse.
Nurse, come hither.
What is your worship's pleasure?
Here, take this young cockatrice and lock her up presently till farther orders from me. Not a word, hussy. Do what I bid you. No reply. Away.
Why? What's the matter, husband?
'Tis not convenient to tell you now. Mr. Scandal, heaven keep us all in our senses. I fear there is a contagious frenzy abroad. How does Valentine?
Oh, I hope he'll come round. I have a message from him to your niece, Angelica.
I think she has not returned since she went abroad with Sir Sampson. Nurse, why are you not gone?
Exeunt the nurse and Miss Prue. Enter Ben.
Here's Mr. Benjamin. He can tell us if his father has come home.
Who, father? Why, he's come home with a vengeance.
Why, what's the matter?
Matter? Why, he's mad.
Mercy on us, I was afraid of this. And there's the handsome young woman, she that young Valentine were mad for. She's mad too, I think.
Oh, my poor niece. My poor niece, is she gone too? Well, I shall run mad next.
But indeed, there's more wonders, Mrs. Forsyte. There's a new wedding upon the stocks, and they two are going to be married to rights.
Who?
Why, father and the young woman. I can't hit of her name.
Angelica?
Aye, the same.
Sir Sampson and Angelica? Impossible.
That may be, but I'm sure it is as I tell you.
Death, it's a jest. I can't believe it.
Look, you friend, it's nothing to me whether you believe it or no. What I say is true, do you see? They are married, or just going to be married. I know not which.
Well, but they are not mad. That is not lunatic.
I don't know what you may call madness, but she's mad for a husband, and he's horn mad, I think, or they'd ne'er make a match together. Here they come.
Re-enter Sir Sampson and Angelica with Buckram.
Where is the old soothsayer? Old Forsyte. Wish me joy, Uncle Forsyte. Double joy, both as uncle and astrologer. Here's a conjunction that was not foretold in all your ephemeris. The brightest star in the firmament is shot from above in a jelly of love, and so forth. And I'm a lord of the ascendant.
I'm thunderstruck. You are not married to my niece?
Not yet married, uncle, but very near it, within a kiss of the matter, as you see.
Sir Sampson kisses Angelica.
'Tis true, uncle. I hope you'll act my father and give me away.
That he shall, or I'll burn his globes. Body o' me, he shall be thy father. I'll make him thy father, and thou shalt make me a father, and I'll make thee a mother. We'll beget sons soon enough to put the weekly bills out of countenance.
Death and hell. Where's Valentine?
Exit Scandal.
This is so surprising.
What does my aunt say? Surprising, aunt? Not at all. For a young couple to make a match in winter, not at all. It's a plot to undermine cold weather.
I'm glad to hear you have so much fire in you, Sir Sampson.
Gad, I fear father's fire a little better than tinder. Mayhap it will only serve to light up a match for somebody else. The young woman's a handsome young woman. I can't deny it.
Now, who gave you authority to speak, sirrah? To your element, fish. Be mute, fish, and return to sea. Mr. Buckram, is the conveyance so worded that nothing can possibly descend to this scoundrel? I would not so much as have him have the prospect of an estate, though there were no way to come to it but by the northeast passage.
Sir, it is drawn according to your directions. There is not the last cranny of the law unstopped.
Lawyer, I believe there's many a cranny and leak unstopped in your conscience. They say a witch will sail in a save, but I believe the devil would not venture aboard your conscience. And that's for you.
Oh, hold your tongue, Sarah. Now, who's here?
Re-enter Tattle with Mrs. Frail.
Oh, sister, the most unlucky accident.
What's the matter?
Oh, the two most unfortunate poor creatures in the world we are.
Bless us. How so?
Mr. Tattle and I... Poor Mr. Tattle and I are... I can't speak it out.
Nor I, but poor Mrs. Frail and I are...
Married!
Married? How?
Suddenly, before we knew where we were, that villain Jeremy, by the help of disguises, tricked us into one another.
Why, you told me just now you went hence in haste to be married.
But I believe Mr. Tattle meant the favor to me. I thank him.
I did, as I hope to be saved, madam. My intentions were good, but this is the most cruel thing. To marry one does not know how, nor why, nor wherefore.
Well, 'tis very unhappy if you don't care for one another.
The least in the world. That is, for my part, I speak for myself. God, I never dallied with this lady with the least thought of serious kindness. I never liked anybody less in my life.
And for my part, I always despised Mr. Tattle most of all things. Nothing but his being my husband could have made me like him less.
Look you there. I thought as much. Box on it. I don't believe I shall sleep tonight.
Sleep, quoth you? No, bridegroom.
Why, I'm sorry for the young man with all my heart, for I dare swear there's no matrimony tough enough to hold that viper. Look you, Mr. Tattle, your wife can't drag her anchor along with her. She'll break the cable, I can tell you that.
Re-enter Scandal with Valentine.
But who's here? My elder brother, the madman?
No, here's the fool. And if occasion be, I'll give it under my hand. Sir, I'm come to acknowledge my errors and ask your pardon.
What, have you found your senses at last, then? In good time, sir.
You were abused, sir. I never was distracted.
Oh, not mad, Mr. Scandal.
No, really, sir. I'm his witness. It was all counterfeit.
I thought I had reasons, but it was a poor contrivance. The effect has shown it such.
What, cheat me? Cheat your own father? Sirrah, how could you hope to prosper?
Indeed, I thought, sir, since the father endeavored to undo the son, it was a reasonable return of nature.
Very good, sir. Mr. Buckram, are you ready? Come, sir, will you sign and seal?
Yes, sir. But first, I would ask this lady one question.
No, sir. You shall ask that lady no questions till you have my blessing, sir. That lady is to be my wife.
I have heard as much, sir, but I would have it from her own mouth.
No, try her, sir. I warrant you, you'll find her heart belongs to me. Come, Chuck. Satisfying answer. Come, Mr. Buckram, the pen and ink.
Here it is, sir, with the deed. All is ready.
Valentine goes to Angelica.
'Tis true, Valentine, you have a great while pretended to love me.
Pretended?
Nay, what if you were sincere? Still, you must pardon me if I think my own inclinations have a better right to dispose of my person than yours.
Valentine nods. He kisses her hand.
Are you answered now, sir?
Yes, sir.
Come then, sir. Your counterfeit is done. Will you sign, sir? Will you sign and seal?
With all my heart, sir.
Steph Valentine, you are not mad, indeed, to ruin yourself.
I have been disappointed of my only hope, and he that loses hope may part with anything. I never valued fortune, but as it was subservient to my pleasure, and my only pleasure since I knew her was to please this lady. I have made many vain attempts and find at last that nothing but my ruin can secure her happiness, which for that reason I will sign to. Give me the paper.
Generous Valentine.
Here is the deed, sir.
But where is the bond by which I am obliged to sign this?
Sir Sampson, you have it.
No, I have it. And I'll use it as I would everything that is an enemy to Valentine.
Angelica tears the paper.
Oh, now?
Had I the world to give you, Valentine, it could not make me worthy of so faithful a passion. Here is my hand. My heart was always yours and struggled very hard to make this utmost trial of your virtue.
Between pleasure and amazement, I am lost. But on my knees, I take the blessing.
Zoons, what is the meaning of this?
Egad, here's the wind changed again. This London's a stormy port.
Well, Sir Sampson, since I have played you a trick, I'll advise you how you may avoid such another. Learn to be a good father, or you'll never get a second wife. I always loved your son and hated your unforgiving nature. I was resolved to try him even to the utmost. I have tried you too, and know you both. You have not more faults than he has virtues, and 'tis hardly more pleasure to me that I can make him and myself happy than that I can punish you.
If my happiness could receive addition, this kind surprise would make it double.
Zoons, you're a crocodile.
Really, Sir Sampson, this is a sudden eclipse.
You're an illiterate old fool. And I'm another.
Well, but if the gentleman is in disorder for want of a wife, I can spare him mine.
Exit Sir Sampson. Re-enter Jeremy.
Oh, are you there, rascal? I'm indebted to you for my happiness.
And mine, thou villain.
Sir and lady, I ask you both 10,000 pardons. 'Twas an honest mistake. It was as honest as a watchlight.
I have done dissembling now, Valentine. And if that coldness, which I have always worn before you, should turn to an extreme fondness, you must not suspect it.
Oh, I'll prevent that suspicion, for I intend to dote to that immoderate degree that your fondness shall never distinguish itself enough to be taken notice of. If ever you seem to love too much, it must be only when I can't love enough.
Have a care of promises. You know you are apt to run more in debt than you are able to pay.
Therefore, I yield my body as your prisoner, and make your best on it.
The music stays for you.
They all dance.
Well, madam, you have done exemplary justice in punishing an inhumane father and rewarding a faithful lover. But there is a third good work which I in particular must thank you for. I was an infidel to your sex, and you have converted me. For now, I am convinced that not all women are like fortune, blind in bestowing favors either on those who do not merit or do not want them.
'Tis an unreasonable accusation that you lay upon our sex. You tax us with injustice only to cover your own want of merit. You would all have the reward of love, but few have the constancy to stay till it becomes your due. Men are generally hypocrites and infidels. They pretend to worship, but they have neither zeal nor faith. How few, like Valentine, would persevere even to martyrdom and sacrifice their interest to the joy of their beloved. In admiring me, you misplace the novelty. The miracle today is that we find a lover's true, not that a woman's kind.
End of play.